You idiot! Edgeworth, you idiot! You ruined it! You ruined it! I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I've just wasted all your efforts. Mr. Edgeworth, I don't believe it, pal. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it even myself, detective. But it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. This is crazy! Just crazy! Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case for what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent! Yeah, boy! Uphill battles is my game, man. I'm ready for the challenge. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream, and it's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove your innocence. Trust me. Right. It's a three-way battle now. Not only do we have to fight, not only do we have to fight against Von Karma, we have to fight against our own fucking defendant from himself. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? Von Karma himself, I think he knew that Edgeworth was going to speak out. That's why he was so quiet and he didn't want to. Because this guy, he's perfect, Mr. Perfect, and we are completely and utterly wrecking this guy. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago, you mistakenly killed your father, Gregor Edgeworth. Is that correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That would be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Yeah. Depends if I can remember it as well. Oh man, this is gonna be hard. Oh, sorry there. I completely fucked up. My mistake. Yeah, I completely messed up there. So let's start from the beginning. This is Edgeworth. I forgot to unpause the fucking thing. Edgeworth's, this is Edgeworth's statement. As we struck the elevator, I know a quick struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi had lost composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot. It was a terrifying scream. I remember it to this day. But there's clearly something wrong with this. If we look at the DL6 case file, and we look at victim data, it says that the murder weapon was shot twice, so that doesn't fit. Objection! Finally! I was doing it before, but it wasn't working for some reason. Are you sure you only had one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure. I heard the shot and the scream. Then something faded. Everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make any sense. Look at this case. Look at the file on one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness' testimony. You do dragging on the file. Will you stop objecting? Let me get to my point. Which page contributes to testimony? It is the victim data. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, this incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, when do you not know when the second shot was fired? It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with this incident. What? Do you have a point? The metal weapon was fired twice, as you say. One of those shots was fired by the attendant aboard at the time. Do you have any proof? Yes, I do. Of course I do. What? Impossible. Save your surprise for after you've seen evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show us your proof. Of course I do. I have proof. And that's this. Take that! Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I can see that the victim is lying there is Gregory Edgeworth. This proves the metal weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. The photo proves it. So let me get it straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired. Where? Your Honor, please get a clue. Yep, the glass. The only piece of evidence. Take that. There's no microphone there. So as you observation there, a bullet hole from the door. Your Honor, Gregory Edgeworth was killed by a shot from a pistol. Yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot. Order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went through Gregory Edgeworth's heart, the other hit the elevator door. Remember that defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out? In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, who could that be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at your 6th incident case. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary page, page 1. Not a single clue was found in the scene. If the pistol was indeed fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have his point. The second bullet was never found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth, and this of the matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made the bullet hole in the door. Order. I will have order. Mr. Wright has clearly proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at this time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karman says, the second bullet fired was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked this second bullet. So, all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. Tis. I praise the judge for his wisdom in the matter. Yeah, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet doesn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong with this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why are you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. It looks like I was wrong. Nick, if the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No. But you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just, when I saw the photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up the incident. One bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth, precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No, I do not. So, you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Just confessing. Very well. The statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict of the defendant today, right here, right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's like my first day of the court. There's so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank. I can't find the words. Oh, Mr. Wright. I don't know. My mind's gone blank as well. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing as well. I think I do have a bit of an idea. Don't wag your finger at me, Mr. Wright. On what grounds do you object? Nick, I don't know. Perfect. Grah, it must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist? But where? Someone took it. It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? The second bullet. It exists. We've just heard proof that it doesn't. I realize that, Your Honor. You're asking me here. But who? The murderer? The murderer? Then tell us, just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he? First of all, he would have found it. It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. The murderer had to find it. Didn't need it. The murderer had to find it. That's why he took it. But what possible reason could he have had to cover his fucking tracks? The murderer was cautious. The bullet would be proof. Which one is it? The bullet would be proof? I think I've chosen the wrong one. Yeah, I'm taking a penalty for that. Need. The murderer did need it, had to find it. Well, because the murderer was cautious. He wanted to cover his fucking tracks. If this was the case, then he would have taken the bullet from inside Gregory as well. Huh? Why would he only take one of the two shots fired? Oh, right. This right through. Oh my god. The murderer didn't need it? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong? The murderer had no reason to take the bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. He had to take it. Had to take it? The murderer? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Yes. Why the bullet had to be taken? The bullet had to be taken? Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take the bullet. Had to? What do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet hit the murderer? The murderer hit the bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it out with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there, you know? Wait a second. I was taking off the top of my head, taking it off the top of my head. But if that, this is the moment that really got me stumped, because it didn't make any sense. Why it didn't make like a lot of sense. Like, how did he get from that part? You know, the murderer had shot himself somehow. I don't know. The murderer came from outside. Wow. That's one. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol out of the feast and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. It's possible, but it's reaching. It's reaching. No one involved with this incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was injured at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey Nick, I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy. Remember what Mr. Grosper said yesterday? Reality Delta blow to his perfect trial record. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes. An unusual event. So the last vacation he's taken on his process. Yeah. Because he took it because he was injured. Which would mean it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. No way. Von Karma. How fitting. No, well, it would make sense. Everything would make sense. Say it now. Your Honor, there is one known suspect. Very well. Who is your suspect? Oh man, I don't know how to say this. Von Karma! Von Karma?